In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the turbocharger with exhaust manifold on this Volkswagen Tiguan. It's going to be located on the back side of the engine bay. Let's get into it. Take the cover off the battery. There's a little tab right here. Just push on that, and this cover comes off. Loosen up the negative terminal. Use a 10mm wrench. Just loosen up the nut. Grab the terminal and wiggle it off. Disconnect the positive side, use a 10mm wrench. Loosen that up. Slide that off. Down on the side of the battery, there's a hold down. You're going to use a 13mm socket. That bolt, that hold down out. Now just grab the battery and we'll pull it out. Now I'm just going to take the battery box out. Just pull that up. There's a couple tabs right here. If you need to, use a straight blade screwdriver. Pull that out of the way. Disconnect the connector here. Just push on the tab, slide that off. It's for the mass airflow sensor. Then we'll move this hose clamp. I'm just going to use some pliers. Take the hose clamp, just move it over. Disconnect this hose right here. Using a 5mm hex socket, loosen up the screw. That's good. Pull that up. You're going to grab this tube, just pull that to the side. If you need to, you can use a trim tool, and same underneath. If it's clipped into the airbox, pull that out. Now grab the airbox and just pull it up. There's just grommets holding it in. Remove this cover, just grab it, pull it straight up. Now using a T30 socket, reach around this tube, and we're going to take this bolt out right here. Take that bolt out. That's loose. I'm going to use some pliers. We're going to take this hose off. We're going to reach down. There's two hose clamps. Go for the further one down. You can use hose clamp pliers if you want, but it seems like pliers work a little better for this one. Just squeeze that. And just grab the pipe. And you want to lift up. There you go, pop that off. That's good. Pull this up a little bit. There's another hose on here. Just rotate this. There's some clamps. I'm also going to use a pocket screwdriver on the other side. So I got a pick on one side, pocket screwdriver on the other. Just be careful. There we go. Just use a pick or a straight blade screwdriver. Just want to release the tabs. And this pops out. So there's tabs on the side and the top and the bottom. Pull that off. And then underneath, there's two bolts going up. Just use the same M8 socket, triple square. I'm going to go from underneath. Once you get it loose, you can do it by hand. Take that off. On the back side, you're going to have to get some of these bolts off. You can see down here, there's one there. Pull these bolts out. Grab the shield. slide this out. That comes out. You can have a lot more room in there. See down here, there's a pipe that goes into the turbo. I'm just going to use a pick. There is a clip on here. I'm going to loosen up that clip. Separate that pipe. There we go. And pull that off. And we'll disconnect this hose right here. Just push on the tabs. Just squeeze it. That pops off. Using a 7mm socket, take these screws out. On the sides, it's just clipped in right here. You just want to try to pull this out. Pull it off the front. Do the same on the other side. It just pulls out. I'm going to remove these screws. There's a T25 socket. Take that out. On the sides, there's one there, one there, one there. Should be one there. Right there and right there. I'm just going to use a trim tool. You can see where it's clipped in here and on the other side. And just slide it right back. In the back, behind this cover, just twist to the left, pop that out. You can see where this is held down. We're just going to pop this holder off, pull the jack out. There's a utility bag right here. Open up the utility bag. And you want to find this pick. We're going to use that. And with the hook tool, we're going to take these caps off. Just reach in the middle, pull those out. Using a 17mm socket, take the lug bolts out. Before I take the last one off, I'm just going to hold the wheel on so it doesn't fall. Take that out and grab the wheel, slide it off. Remove this screw, use a T25 socket. Now we're going to take the inner fender well out, or at least move it out of the way. We're going to use a T25 socket and take some of these screws out. And over here. Just grab the inner fender well. Pull that out. Now I'll just move it out of the way. Just like that's good. We're going to disconnect the pipe at the intercooler. I'm going to use a hook or a pick. Just get under this clip. You're going to pull that off. You can either pull it out all the way or just get it in service position. You just grab the hose. Pull that out. There might be some oil dripping from it, so you might need a drain bucket. Now I'm going to remove these two screws, use a T30 socket. All right, those are loose. Over near the turbo, there's a clip. We just need to get under there with a pick. pull that out. Just get that into service mode. Oops. And just grab the pipe and pull that off. I'm going to disconnect the diverter valve. Just use a pick underneath this clip right here. Pop that back. Slide that off. And further up, there's a solenoid. Now we're going to disconnect the connector up here. There's a solenoid valve right there. Just use a pick, again, underneath the clip. Pull that off. You can take that wiring harness, just slide that out of the way. Using an M10 socket or a triple square, we're going to take this bracket off. There's 2 bolts right here. Take these out. Pull that out. And I'll take this one out. All right, pull that out. And there's one more bolt up top. Right there, you can see that bolt. We're gonna take that one out. We're gonna have to use a hex socket. Get the ratchet on here with a 6mm hex socket. Loosen this bolt up. There we go. Pull that bolt out. Just grab the bracket. That comes right down. That's where the bolt was. Goes through. Now we're going to take off the nuts that go to the catalytic converter. I'm going to use a 16mm socket. Take that off, and the upper one. Take those off. Now the other 2 nuts we're going to get from up top. I'm going to use an extension and try right over the transmission to get that nut off. Alright, that must have fell down, and then one underneath. See if we can get this one underneath here. There we go. Take that nut off. You can grab the converter and just slide it off. Slide back, and then it's out of the way. It's disconnected from the turbo. You can pull the gasket out. We're going to replace that. Now I'm going to use a M12 socket. We're going to take off this oil feed line. Just loosen that up. Take that off, and then there's a seal under there as well. Now we're going to take this bolt out. We're going to use a triple square socket. This is a M8 socket. Take this one out. This is a bolt to the bracket for one of the other lines. All right, pull that off. Now we're going to take this screw out that goes to the oil feed hose. I'm going to use a M8 socket. Loosen that up, and we'll take that out. Take that out. Grab the line. That should be loose. There's a bracket that attaches to one of the other lines. You just push this line forward and then pull it to the side. And we can just move that out of the way. Now I'm going to take this line off. I'm going to use a M10 socket. At this point, the vehicle is cold, so it doesn't matter. But you don't want to take this off if the vehicle's hot. I'm just going to have a drain bucket underneath just to catch any of the coolant. Loosen this up. You see some of the coolant's coming out. And we'll just let that drain. Now we're gonna take that bolt out. Make sure you take the seals off. There's the other seal that fell off. Kick that out of the way. Now at the base, there's the oil return line. We're gonna take that off, use a M8 socket. There's 2 screws. You're gonna want a drain bucket under here as well. All right, take that bolt out. I'm gonna take the bolt off the back side. Same M8 triple square socket. Just using a swivel, making it a little easier. That bolt out, and that'll separate right there. A little bit of oil dripping, not too much. It's good. The other coolant line comes in front of the engine and attaches right here. We're going to use some hose clamp pliers. Move this hose clamp. There we go. Move that. I'll just take a pick. Pipe off. There we go. You might want a drain bucket underneath just in case you lose some coolant. Just move this back. There is a wire. We're just going to go around that wire. And that'll come out with the turbo. Now there's some lines that go across the back. We're going to take the bracket off, use a T30 socket, take this bolt out. Take that off. We're going to use a 10mm socket, take this ground wire off right here. If you follow that line back, you can see where that is. Just take this nut off. Go and take the ground wire off the stud, and using a T30 socket, take this screw out of the bracket. Take that out. Now we're just going to disconnect all the coils. I'm going to use a straight blade screwdriver, pocket screwdriver. Just push back on the tabs. And just slide this back slightly. Do the same for the other ones. There we go, slide that off. Just pull this out of the way. And this line, and pull this line out of the way. And there's a coolant hose right here. We'll just pop that off. Now there's a wire attached. There's some wire retainers. We're just gonna pop those off. Just follow along the hose, pop those off, just so we have some more slack. That's out of the way. We're going to disconnect this hose over here. I'm just going to use some hose clamp pliers. Just move that hose clamp. Just move the hose. And pop this off. Oh, a little bit of coolant coming out down below. That's fine. Just keep your drain buckets there. Now using a 12mm socket, I'm going to take the exhaust manifold nuts off. Yep. Just want to rock the turbo back and forth a little bit. And it'll slide off like that. Just move the converter out of your way. Just tip it up. And it comes right out. And pull the gasket off. Now we're going to scrape off any excess gasket. I'm just going to use a razor blade. Be careful if you use this method. You can use a scraper. And just try to get as much of the gasket material off as possible. And just use a little brake parts cleaner and a rag. Just wipe that off the best you can. That's cleaned up. We'll take the gasket and get that lined up. That's good. Over the studs. Now this coolant pipe, we're gonna have to transfer this over to the new turbo. We're gonna use a 8mm hex socket. Take this bolt off. Pull that out. There's a seal right there, that's okay, we're gonna replace it. There's a seal on the bolt, you gotta take that off. We'll get a new seal for that as well. And take the new seal, put that over the banjo bolt. It's gonna go through the pipe, and then you're gonna have a seal on the other side, like that. And we'll get this lined up. Get that started. We don't want to tighten it down yet though. And I'll put this bolt in. Now we did take this bolt out of this bracket while the turbo was still in the car, but it's just as easy to put it on now. And we'll tighten this down. Snug that down, that's good. Tip this back over. I'm gonna tighten that bolt down. Snug that down. And we're gonna torque this bolt to 28 foot-pounds. We're going to remove the old exhaust studs. We're going to transfer these over to the new one. I'm just going to take 2 nuts, thread these on. You want to tighten these down together, and then you can take the wrench and try to loosen this up. And you should be able to spin it out. These are a little tight on there, so I'm just gonna heat up the ears with a torch and get those hot, and then I can take them out that way. There you go, stud comes right out. And we'll do the same for the other ones. Now we're gonna put the studs in, pretty much the opposite of taking them out. You have the 2 nuts on there. Get those started. Snug those down. And we can take the nuts off. And we'll do the same for the other ones. There we go, take those off. Now before we install the turbo, where the oil feed line is, right here up top, we're just gonna take the syringe with some oil in it. You wanna fill that up. Just some fresh engine oil. And then on the side, you just wanna turn the fan blade. It's easiest to get into the exhaust. You're not going to be able to get to the intake blade, but just spin that around a few times. And that's good. Now take the turbo and just angle it how you took it out. Slide it in position. Now you want to take all the nuts, get the nuts started. Get those all on. You have a nut there, 2 on the sides, and then 2 on the ends. Get those all started. Now you're going to tighten these in a sequence. The first set of torque, you're going to torque to 4 foot-pounds. You're going to start with the one on the end here. Then you're going to go to the middle. Then you're going to go to the other end, torque that, then back to this side, and to the other side. Then we'll go around again. You're going to go to 9 foot-pounds. The same torque starting with the end, going to the middle, to the other end, and back to the in-between, and back to here. Then you're going to go to 12 foot-pounds. Start with the end, middle, other end, then back, and back over here. And then we're going to go to 18 foot-pounds. This is the last one. Start on the end, go to the middle, other end, and over, and over again. There we go, and that's the sequence. And now we're going to attach the oil return line. Make sure you put a new gasket on. Get the gasket started. And get the bolt started. Make sure we get that lined up. And get the other bolt in. Get this lined up. Tighten that down. And you want to torque these bolts to 7 foot-pounds. There we go. Take the banjo bolt for the coolant hose. Put a new seal on it. And we're going to go through the line and then put a seal on the other side. And get this lined up. Get that started. All right, that's good. Now we're going to torque this banjo bolt to 28 foot-pounds. That's good. Now get this line lined up. There's a bracket underneath. You just want to connect the two brackets together. Just feel around for it. Get those close. Then we take the seal. There's going to be a seal underneath here. Get that lined up. And then take your banjo bolt. Make sure there's a new seal on the banjo bolt side. And get that started. And I'll start to tighten this down. Now we're going to torque this to 24 foot-pounds. Now this coolant hose you want to run in the front of the motor and attach that to this coolant pipe. We're going to move this clamp. There we go. That's all set. Now take the gasket for the converter, the catalytic converter. Get that lined up. Only goes on one way. Get that over the studs. That's good. And then we can slide the converter over the studs. Might have to wiggle it a little. Get everything to line up right. Now take this shield, slide this over. And put the nuts on. Get the nuts started up top, in the back, and down below. Trying to get this lower nut on. And now we'll tighten those nuts down. And those are all tight. Just go back and just snug those down. Make sure they're snug. That's good. And I'll put this heat shield in place. Get that lined up. And take the bolts, get the bolts started. Pull it out a little bit so you can see. See where the bolt is. There we go. All right, that one's started. Get the other one. All right. That's good. And tighten this one down. Okay. Those are tight. Now I'll take this hose or these two pipes, get these in place with the bracket. You've got this hose back here. We're gonna slip that in place. It's gonna go over there, and then we'll move the hose clamp. All right, that's in place, that's good. And we're gonna bolt started here. There's a bolt over here. And a bolt right here. Get that lined up. And once this one's started, we'll start tightening this one down and snug it up. Snug it down. And snug that one down. Take that out. And snug that one down. That's good. I'm going to take this ground wire. It's going to go in that bracket and put the nut on. Get that started. Snug that down. That's good. And take the coil connectors, get those all lined up, and lock them down. That's good. And take this hose, this is gonna go on the end of the turbo where there's a little port. Just push that on, right there. I'm just reusing the old clamp that's on there. It's just a squeeze type clamp. Push that on. Oh, that's all the way on. Just gonna use some side cutters just to squeeze the clamp. I'm not gonna cut it, but just squeeze it. Because the actual tool that you can use to squeeze the clamp doesn't fit in here. You could probably put it on the turbo before you did this if you wanted to. Just squeeze that a little bit, all right? That makes the hose tight, that's good. Yep, that's tight. And then we're gonna attach it up top here. Just get this lined up. And just lock it in place. For the O2 sensor wire, just clip that in place if you took that off. Lock that in. Now I'll take this pipe and take the hose clamp. Make sure you get that lined up with the hose clamp pliers. Before we attach the pipe down below, we're going to attach this one. Just be easier. Click that in place. Attach the hose, make sure the hose clamp is in the right spot. And push it onto the turbo. That's good. Hose clamp lined up. All right, that looks good. I'm going to release it. Take that off. I'm going to take the bolts that goes in the snorkel. Just get that lined up. Get that started. And we'll tighten that down. All right, that's good. And just clip this hose and these retainers to the hose. Just follow along, find the retainers. Those are all clipped in, that's good. And put the air box in. Get that lined up. Push that in place. Push this hose on. That's good. Got this bolt right here. Tighten that down. Tighten that bolt down. Move this hose clamp over. And connect the connector. Lock it down. You can put the battery in if you want first, or put the battery cover on. If it's a little easier for you without the cover, go ahead. That goes in like that. And that's like that. Lock that down. Now take the battery. And slide it in position. That's good. You want to pull it this way a little bit. And put the mount in place. Get that started. Snug that down. Make sure the battery doesn't wiggle. That's good. Connect the positive terminal. Tighten that down snug. Give it a wiggle. Make sure it's tight. And connect the negative terminal. Tighten down the nut. Just snug, give it a wiggle, make sure it's tight. Take the cover, slide the back 2 tabs in place, lock it down. And put this intake hose in place. Clip that in. Take the engine cover, line it up, push it down. Now take this bracket, slide that in place. I'm going to get the 2 bolts in the bottom started. I'll get the bolt up top started. And get the other bolt down below. Once all the bolts are in, we can tighten this down. And now we're going to tighten this down. All right, that's tight. All right, tighten those down. That's good. Now I take the connectors. I'm going to plug the connectors in. Push that one down. And down to the diverter valve. Plug that in. That's good. The wire's out of the way. In the clip on the intercooler, you want to put that back into regular mode, not service mode. We can put the pipe up and clip that in. Just push that in place. There we go, clip that in and clip the other end into the turbo. There we go. Get the bolts lined up. One there and one there. And tighten those down. So good. Now I'll take the inner fender well, slide it in place. Start getting the screws in. You can snug those down. And underneath, screw that in. Now I'll take this, I'm going to slide the bracket, so one's going to come down, this is going to go up, this is down, this is up, this is down, up. Get that slid in place. That's good. Now I'll put the screws in. Get those started. Should be another one right there on the other side. And one more in the middle, and we'll snug those down. Now I take this shield, get this lined up. And just push it on. You can use a rubber mallet if you need to. Push the sides in place. That's good. Now put these screws in and snug them down. Install the wheel. Get the lug bolt started. And put the other ones on. Snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug bolts to 89 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. Take the caps, get those lined up, and push them on. Take the pick tool, put that back in the utility bag. We'll wrap this up. And just tie it up. Place that back inside here. I'll take the jack, get that lined up. This little tie down. Just pull that through. Take the door, slide the two little tabs in the base, and then twist it closed. With the vehicle raised and supported safely, you want to look for the oil pan, and you can see the drain plug at the back side of it. We're going to use a T45 socket. You want to have a drain bucket underneath. Pull the drain plug out and drain the oil. Now to take the drain plug, take the seal off. And I'll put a new seal on. It is recommended that you replace the drain plug. Snug that up first. I'll torque this to 22 foot-pounds. And with a rag, just wipe off any residual. Then you're going to remove the cover, pull that off. You can see there's a hose that goes over the oil filter. We're just going to pop this up, move that out of the way. And you want to take an oil filter wrench, or you can use a cup. Loosen this up. Just going to take a rag just in case any oil comes out. Just unscrew the filter. Pull that out. And take a little fresh engine oil, and you want to lubricate the seal on the new filter. That's good. You can wipe the contact area where the filter was, but that looks pretty good. You just get a rag. And on the filter housing, you just want to take a clean rag, just wipe that off. Looks good. Get the oil filter started. And once it feels pretty snug, I'm going to go another half turn or 3/4 turn. That's good. And take the hose and put the hose back in the retainers. And the oil cap. Take the oil cap off. Using a funnel, I'm going to pour the correct oil in. We're using 5W30 synthetic oil. This vehicle is going to take 5 quarts. And this is the last quart. Just let that drain. And take the funnel, take the cap, put the cap on, close it up. And you take the cover, line the cover back up, push that down. And you want to add the proper coolant, take the cap off the reservoir, fill it up to where the max line is right here. Then you want to start the vehicle, let it run for about a minute, top off if you need to add any more coolant, then put the cap on. Run the vehicle for about 15 minutes, monitoring it, making sure the engine's not overheating. Have the heat on low and make sure you feel heat coming out. Once the engine's up to operating temperature, shut the vehicle off, let it cool down, double check the fluid level and adjust accordingly. And shut it off. And we're going to check the oil level. Make sure the vehicle is on a level surface. Pull the dipstick out. Wipe it off. Reinsert the dipstick. Pull it out again. And you want to check and make sure it's in between these hash marks right here. And that's exactly where you want to see it. That looks good. We're going to reset the oil life. You're going to push on the side of the cluster this button that says set, and there's a 00. That's the trip button. Hold that down, and then we're going to turn the vehicle in the on position with the engine off. So don't step on the brake. Make sure you have the key in the car. We'll just push this once. And then you want to release the button on the side of the cluster, and it'll ask you on the dash if you want to reset. You just push the OK button, hit OK, the service has been reset. At this point, you can shut the vehicle off, and you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.